What's up, gamers? I just wanted to record kind of like a low effort video here. I've been struggling with Spelunky 2. It's very emotional for me. I love Spelunky 1 like very, very dearly. Probably a top 3 game of all time, and I'm not feeling Spelunky 2, and as you can see in the clickbait title thing, I think I hate it, and I want to talk about why. I want to get my thoughts in a row. So there's going to be spoilers about the game, probably not too many. So please be careful. There's going to be bad language. I don't know. I want to say up front, part of the reason I'm so heated about this game, like I'm not normally the kind of person who is like XYZ needs to be changed, buff X, nerf Y. Like, the game that comes out is the game that comes out, and it's, like, that's it. Like, but in the case of Spelunky 2, it's like, it's so important to me, and I feel like it's so close that I just get so hot about it, and I want to talk about it. So some of the stuff that's good is like, it controls better than Spelunky 1. Like, honestly, after playing Spelunky 2, going back to Spelunky 1 feels weird. Like, it's pretty crazy. I didn't think Spelunky 1 could control better, but like it plays cleaner, it plays faster, it's good. There's one thing where like you jump and you whip at the same time, and you can't short jump. That feels like a bug to me. That might get taken out, I don't know. But other than that one little tiny thing, which you can play around, it's like an improvement. There's branching paths in the game. I love that. It was honestly one of the things I wanted to see, because like, you play Spelunky 1 for 100 plus hours and it starts to feel the same, and you can make choices about where your run goes now, and that's cool. The game looks good. In like the screenshots beforehand, I thought it looked like horse shit. It looked just like weird and blocky and pastel. Like, it looks good in motion. The music is good. I really didn't like the Spelunky 1 HD music at all, with the exception of a couple good tracks, but I think overall the music is better in Spelunky 2. There is an issue with it, though. We'll get to that. So, okay, so let's get to my issues here. Number one, I don't like the characters. I think it's wonderful how diverse the game is. So this isn't that kind of complaint. In Spelunky 1, I had a main, and it was here. I'll put him up. It was the ice climber, the Inuit guy. These are my characters in Spelunky 1. Lime, the Mexican fella, he's great. The Inuit, and then you have these mod characters. The Akuma, very hilarious. The blue ice climber that I made, this cat. These are mod characters you can put in pretty easily. You can't mod Spelunky 2. There's no external files. Like, it's just some DLLs and an EXE. That's a problem with the game. But like, it's sort of only a problem because other things are a little problem. I don't know, it's like a lot of things in Spelunky 2. Shit adds up. But like, none of the characters in Spelunky 2 like jump out at me and like give me pleasure to look at and play, and I don't like that. There is one character who I know about because he was in like like one pre-release screenshot, and hold on, sorry, is this guy Pilot. Pilot's really fucking hard to get. I haven't got him yet. Like, when Spelunky 2 came out, I got up at 7, I downloaded it on Steam, and I played it for like 8 hours, and I had a pretty good time, and I was like, yeah, you know, I'll probably unlock a character I like at some point. I know Pilot's in there, and after my first session, I looked up how to get Pilot. It's really fucking hard. It's like, towards the end of the game, you have to do this really specific sequence of events, and it's just like, I know he's there and I can't have him, and every run that I fail is another run that I didn't get Pilot. And this is my own personal weird brain problem that, like, I just don't like looking at these characters, and not because I hate them, but because they look great. You know, there's a lot of good animation. The robot looks cool. They got their own ropes. It's fun stuff, but like, none of them just like make me happy personally. And I want Pilot, and I can't get Pilot, and it just means I'm constantly pissed off, and it's my own brain fault, but it colors. I think it's coloring the whole thing, you know, like, it's everything that I'm going to say after this is colored by the fact that every time I die is like, well, I still don't have Pilot, so all right. Let's see. Moving on. So, there are like 3 to 5 times more moving parts per screen in Spelunky 2 than Spelunky 1, which is like, okay, like, that's the good shit about Spelunky, is when, you know, the Rube Goldberg machine goes off and this goes into that, and you know, it's like, on one hand it's good, but on the other hand it's like, much like Pilot, it's like, this is coloring everything else, and, you know, this is contributing to everything else that makes me mad about the game. I want to play a clip here. Pause. Okay, I want to play a clip here from my stream. Hey, there's your boy the Leprechaun. So I have a helping. Say yeah. I have a helping hand here.
You fucking get it, hit it. Jesus fuck. You fucking Christ in a fucking.
So, like, that's not the best example of what I'm talking about, but it's like, the helping hand, wildly unreliable, and they're all over this game. They're pretty rare in Spelunky 1. You could pretty much ignore them, but there's always a helping hand, and they're almost difficult to not get. And from what I learned from this is you throw them in the lava immediately, but like, their AI is so bad. I don't like, with the overstimulation thing, like, my brain, you know, I have to look for stuff to ignore. I have to look for stuff to filter out, and like, now I just have to filter out the helping hands because they're dangerous and shitty, and that's unfortunate that it's that way, you know? I hope that makes sense. Again, this is not really a problem with the game, but it's like, it's contributing to me being angry. It's good. I don't know. You get it or you don't. So, the first zone sucks. Really bad. The caves are too hard. I feel like they're tuned in a way that's like, they expect you to have played. Oh, let me put the music back on. They expect you to have played and mastered Spelunky 1, and it's like, the rewards are not really consummate. Is that They don't match the effort you have to put in. Like, there's tiki traps, there's arrow traps, there's a ton of arrow traps. Like, you know, Spelunky 1 in the caves, you would get maybe 3 arrow traps per floor that you have to interact with. In Spelunky 2, it's not uncommon to have 3 on a given screen that you have to interact with. And it's very easy to end up, like, if you're not careful, if you're not lucky, it's really easy to end up in a situation where you have to take a serious risk or use a rope to get past the arrow traps. There's the lizards. You know, a lot of people are complaining that the lizards have 3 HP. The lizards need to have 3 HP because there's so many arrow traps. Like, you know, if they run into an arrow trap, then they take 2 damage. You know, like, the problem to me with the lizards is that they can just full combo you to death. You know, they jump in the air, they bounce you, they roll, you know. I think the lizards are good, they're cool, but, like, again, it's in combination with everything else. And there's the moles, who also have 3 HP. I don't understand why the moles are invincible while they're coming out of the ground. That seems unnecessary. That you just bounce off them. They have super armor. And the moles, to me, kind of like interact with the overstimulation thing, where it's like you can go into a shop and then suddenly like 3 moles can converge from 3 different angles because you were looking at all this other shit and you didn't realize there were moles in the dirt. Like, it sucks. It's annoying. They're hard to deal with, and it's like, that's fine, but it's also not that fun. I don't know. So, the caves. 1-1 is, you know, just like Spelunky 1, 1-1 is like kind of a nothingness level. There's not really going to be any interesting stuff in it. There's going to be like maybe a maiden, a pet, and maybe 5 to 10,000 gold. So that one's out. 1-4 now has a boss in it, and it's like a pretty fixed floor in terms of generation. So like maybe there will be 1 crate in it. There's never going to be a shop. So you're left with 1-2 and 1-3 for like really interesting different generation. And 1-2 and 1-3 now there's this turkey farm now, which takes up space, takes up generation, and you can bring turkeys to it and get a reward that sucks. Like, I've seen maybe like 1 in 10 have a crate, and otherwise it's like maybe 2,000 gold or something. Like, it's a lot of effort for nothing, and it's not really interesting to interact with. It sucks. The turkeys sucks. So another thing is the key to get the Ujat eye, and often like pets, are bomb locked. They're behind walls, and you have to use a bomb to get them out. And like, it's pretty common to get out of the caves with like 4 HP, 6 bombs, and like a parachute. Like, you don't you don't get that much shit in the caves. You barely get if you're lucky, you get something in the caves. But like, you need to do you can't just skip them, because you need the Ujat eye to do anything in the game. So you have to do the caves, but there's nothing good in them. And it's like, back to the key, like, it's so common for the level to generate in a way. Like, this is partially because you can't pick up the chest and take it with you the way you could in Spelunky 1, like, because it's stuck in a room. it's really common for the level to generate in such a way that even whether the key is behind a wall that you have to blow up or not, it's easy for the level to generate, so you have to use ropes and or bombs to even unlock the chest. Like, to get the key back to the chest. And it's a lot of effort. Another thing is there's no glue in the caves anymore. The giant spider no longer spawns in the caves. Which the glue is nerfed, which is fine. You can't do some of the stuff you used to be able to do with the glue. It's fine, but it's still useful. You still need it for some stuff, as far as like end game routes. You know, like you still need the glue, but it's possible to go on a route that it's absolutely 100% down to hoping for glue in a crate or a shop, which sucks. I think. There's no glue in the volcano either, which is one of the routes you can go after the caves. So that's a whole thing. HP is pointless. This is I think my biggest problem with the game. As far as I can remember, I've lost one run to dying, quote-unquote, honest, like running out of HP. Everything else, every other death has been instant death. So let's see. The boss at the end of the caves, the boss in 1-4, when he does a blanker roll, kills you instantly. The backpacks, like the jetpack, and there's a couple different types of backpacks, they can blow up now if they get touched by heat. That's an instant kill. There are bear traps, which appear in the jungle and some of the other biomes. That's an instant kill. Lava, still an instant kill. Lava now moves because of the fluid physics. It's also really unpredictable because of the fluid physics. That's an instant kill. You know, and just with the increase in stuff means, like, you're constantly getting Rube Goldberged into spikes, into other shit, and just constantly full combo to death. It doesn't matter if you have 16, 20 HP. Like, you're just gonna blow up or go on spikes or get bounced between things. There's a new mechanic, Curse, which reduces your HP to 1, and it can't go above that. Which is like, oh, you know, fine. I've actually never been cursed. I've died trying to avoid curse. But it's like, yeah, it's a fine mechanic. It's fine to have it in there, but it's in combination with everything else, all the other ways to instantly die. It's like, fuck me. It doesn't feel good. And I like, is this a co-op thing? I wonder, you know, because the game is like, oh, Spelunky 2 is about family. Oh, you know, you're going to love playing it with your friends. You're going to love making stories with your friends. Like, are there so many ways to die instantly just to boom, take a player out of the game? Is that what it's about? Like, because we can't, you know, we can't play co-op on PC right now, which, like, it's fine, you know. I don't want to play co-op. Anyway, HP is pointless. Big problem. Other. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff in the game that is like rote and tedious. The boss at the end of the caves is tedious. He has too many HP. You can kill him by just throwing rocks and sticks at him. It takes forever. There's like a pretty, maybe 100% consistent way to kill him with a bomb, but it's just like, it's just rote, you know? Olmec, who you run into much earlier now, he's both more and less dangerous. Like, he moves different now, and it takes a while to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's like, it's just rote, you know? Because all he does is stomp in the first phase, and it's really easy to just ignore, like just play it on autopilot. And then Olmec Phase 2, he shoots a lot of bombs, and you just kind of have to sit there and like wait for him to destroy the level under himself. You know, like you just sit there. You just sit there and you sit there and you sit there, and he's shooting bombs, and like for 2 if you want to like get down to the whole secret thing, it's like you just have to sit there. And that sucks. You know, you're not interacting with him in any way. You're just sitting on his head. There's the Moon Challenge. There's a shop you can go into, pay 10,000 gold to, you know, have a chance at getting some bow that's for some secret thing. It always pays for itself. Like, you get a mattock in there and you dig up enough gold, and like there's no reason to not do the Moon Challenge. You get a clover, which means you're not time pressured. You get a mattock, which means you don't have to spend resources on it. You always get the 10,000 gold back, it feels like. You usually get items. It's just it's not like fun. There's no enemies in it. The worst thing that can happen is a block can fall on you if you're not paying attention to where you're digging. So just some stuff that's like tedious. I don't like the fluid physics with regard to lava. Like in the volcano zone, you can do a thing with the Ujet Eye to drill down, and then like 99% of the time it's gonna make lava go flowing around, and like it's not really clear where the lava is and when the lava is gonna drip, and it's really hard, if not impossible, to clean it up. So you don't have to interact with it. It's just like, it can set your backpack off if you have a jetpack. It just feels like, you know, like the thing about Spelunky is like once you know, like you know how the stuff works, you know how it's going to interact. But with the fluid physics, you kind of don't know. You don't know if it's in your tile. You don't know if you're gonna be touching it. You don't know when it's gonna drip. It doesn't feel good. There's a dice shop, a gambling shop in the game. It's like weirdly easy to hit yourself with the dice. It's weirdly easy to hit like the shopkeeper and get aggro him. There's like no consequence to robbing it. It doesn't aggro you to the shopkeepers. Like globally, you don't really get anything for robbing it. It's really weird. And I think I saw that if you get snake eyes, you get killed. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think I saw that. So don't. Which it's like if you roll a 1 and you're having anything resembling a good run, you just have to walk away because you don't want to roll that second dice. But I don't know, it's weird. The doors, the front and back room system, like when you leave a door you have like a second of invincibility, and you need it because there can be enemies there, but it's not clear how invincible you are. The fact that there can be an enemy that you had no way of seeing, and you go out and it's there and it's like attacking you, like you just have to go back in the door and then like go back out and hope it's not there. Like it's just a really weird, unpleasant like interaction of elements, you know. Like I said before, the game is not moddable. I didn't get super into it, but I'm gonna play another clip of my stream here. This is Spelunky 1.
Marry me with my money.
That's not the game, that's just a soundboard. So you could just do, you know, it's just nice, you know? It's nice to be able to mod. You can do fun stuff. That's the soundboard again. You can just have a little more fun, you know, when you played the game a lot. There's, you know.
There it is, the Sheridan. He's on top of the Sheridan.
It's just fun. It's fun to mod. It's unfortunate you can't do it. The music variety is gone. There's no, there's, on one hand, it's like there's dynamic music now, which is cool. On the other hand, you have to hear the cave's music a lot. Like, way too much. The mounts, I don't like the mounts. Like, the turkeys are fine. They're not threatening. The rock dogs and the axolotls are like, I just don't want to interact with them. They're so dangerous and they're so risky, and the zones they're in are so dangerous. It's hard to tame them. Like, not crazy about the mounts. On that note, why are there 3 teleporters in Spelunky 2? There's the axolotl is a teleporter. It has a 3rd double jump that's the teleport. There's the handheld teleporter. There's a teleport backpack. Like, I get that this is like a fun speedrun thing, that you can beat the game in 2 minutes or whatever if you know how to teleport. But it's like, why is it so prevalent? Because, like, for me and everyone I know, the teleporter is something you leave the fuck on the ground. Because it's, again, it'll kill you instantly. It's an item that's just going to kill you most of the time if you're not like an expert. I don't know why there's 3 teleporters, shitting up the random item generation. Sorry, I'm getting a little parched here. Grip it and rip it. So, like, what would I change? Reduce the dangerous shit in the caves. Reduce likelihood of the bomb-locked key. I would make fluid moving lava do 2 damage instead of instant kill. Make the Blanka-Ball do 2 damage instead of instant kill. Exploding backpack. Like, it would be cool if there could be like an Akari Warriors exploding tank, get out of it thing with the backpack, but I don't know how that would control given the game's buttons. So just like, on one hand, it's like, it's kind of fun that it's a risk to have a jetpack now, but like, it's such a big risk. The bear trap, I've died to the bear trap and I haven't seen it. It can spawn behind foliage. Like, it can't spawn in places where you can't, like, it's impossible to not be able to see the bear trap, but it can be pretty fucking hard to see the bear trap. And it's just, boom, you're dead. Instant, and you're run. Like, what if the bear trap did 1 damage to you and then weighed you down, like the ball and chain from Spelunky 1, and like, there could be a way out of it, like, wouldn't that be more fun than just totally fucking obliterating you? Like, if there was an interaction there, if there was some kind of gameplay to it other than just instantly killing you and it was behind a bush, like, it sucks. I hate the bear trap. The doors, maybe just try to make sure that enemies don't spawn right on top of doors. I think the Blanka boss should have 1 or 2 less HP. I think the floors with Olmec should be thinner, so you have to go through fewer cycles, whether it's the stomping or the bombing part. Put the spider back in the cave, let the spider be in the cave again. Put good characters in the game, or make the game moddable, like, I know that when Spelunky 1 came out, there had been some rounds of Xbox DLC, and that's everything that ended up in the PC version. Like, I hope there's some DLC with characters in Spelunky 2, because I really like Pilot, but I can't get him. It's pissed me off. So a lot of what I would do is just like tone down the caves a little bit, just a little bit, and take out some of the instant kills, you know, because it's not as fun to me. It's not as interesting to me. Like, it makes for a good clip on Twitch, you know, but when you know, it stops being fun eventually. So, you know, thanks for listening. I guess that's everything I have to say. You know, don't, if you've come this far, I don't think you're going to be Johnny Internet good, you know. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you agree, if you disagree, you know. I had said this jokingly, but I think it was irresponsible of Derek Yu to release such a difficult game into such an unpleasant time on this planet. You know, it's hard to not be mad right now, but you know, Spelunky 2 is not helping, so I don't know. That's all I had to say. Hope you enjoyed it.